When you want to print from Excel, some of the functions may be a little bit confusing, and that's the point of this tutorial, to show you the very basics of what to do when you want to print from Excel. So first, if you open up an Excel file, how much of a screen will actually print? Well, actually, you don't know initially. What you have to do is use the print area function. The print area function is located under page layout, shown here, print area. There's only two versions of it. There's set and clear. What we're going to do to set a print area is we're going to select a bunch of cells. Very simply, we'll go from columns A to F and right down to row 10. And then we'll tell the print area to set that amount. That means this area that we've selected is the only part of a Excel sheet that's going to be printed. So if we put a little information here, the letter Q in this very bottom corner, and then go up to File and to Print, we'll see this is the Q. Now if we didn't have the Q there, right now the print system would be telling us there's nothing to print, and it would just see a big blank screen. This blank screen may or may not be okay under some circumstances, but down here there's the page setup function. And by clicking on page setup and going under sheet, you can print the grid lines as well as the row and column headings that you want to print. Tell it OK, and this is the section that we had selected originally. Now this is just a small portion of the entire screen. Obviously we could print this entire page. The question is, how many rows, how many columns would actually fit on one page? So if you're replacing 3 graphs onto one page, how much room do you actually have? Well, the way to figure that out, if you don't remember a basic mnemonic technique, is that a page, it depends on the margin settings, but it'll print generally to about column I and to about row 47 or so. But if you're not certain, what you can do is just select a great big section of the screen and let the print function show you which portions of it will print and which portions of it won't. So we will shrink up our screen so we can see more of it. And what we're going to do is select one massive chunk of screen here. So let's say all the way down to Z54, and I'll put I'll put the number 9 there. And what we're going to do is Z49, excuse me, Z to row 54 will be the area we're going to set for the print area. And having set it, there's something to take a look at very closely at the screen. When you zoom in, you will find that there are dotted vertical lines. You see them here along I, also along S, and then a solid line here at Z. What these dotted lines indicate is that this total area that you selected to be printed will be chopped up on pages of sheets of paper at these areas with the dotted lines. So even the first section of it here from columns A to I will only print down to row 46, and that's it. And then there'll be a chunk left over afterward. So if we were to label each of these, if you look closely, we actually have 6 total sections. One here, one here, one here, and then 3 smaller sections down below. So let's just label them 1, and then 2 down here, 3, this one will be 4, this one will be 5, and this one will be 6. And what we'll do is we'll go back to the print function and see the way in which we can manage how those pages are going to be printed. Now remember, under page setup, we already went to the sheet function and set up so that the grid lines will appear, and so will the row and column headings. But also look down here in terms of page order. Page order is by default set that it will print from top to bottom until it cleans out everything it needs to, and then it'll go to the next set of rows and then next column, excuse me, and then print down again. So in this case, you'll see the section that we labeled 1, and then by flipping to the next page, it'll show section 2 right up here. By coming back and going to page 3, see we have the 3 labeled there, and then again page 4, that's the smaller section on the bottom, also with the 4 we placed in there, and of course section 5 and section 6. So if we were to print based upon the page setup function right now, it would print section 1, then section 2, section 3, section 4, section 5, and then section 6. But if you have to print more so horizontally, you can use over then down, and you see the way it'll print everything across horizontally, and then it'll go down to another set of rows and go across. So in this case, if we were to go back to page 1 again, what will happen is we'll start with page 1, but instead of going down to section 2, we'll go across to section 3, which is what you see there. And then the third page would actually be page 5. And then the 3 smaller sections underneath that we originally made, the 4th page would be actually labeled 2, and then 4, and then 6. And that way you can control how many pages you need to print for any project. There are many other options that you have in the print function, but these are the primary ones of importance for us. So use those. If you need something else, just like anything else with Excel or any other software, just monkey around with the program a little bit. You probably won't hurt anything, and see what else you can actually do.